Hi guys, welcome back to the video. This one's going to be me drawing a couple pages out of my comic, Evergrey, which launched like almost 2 weeks ago. But I'm going to be drawing different scenes, and at the end I'll actually have a completed version of the sketch that I'm doing right now. But I wanted to talk about why it's important to do what you love in art. And I know that, everyone does art because they like it to an extent or they enjoy it, but doing what you love is like super important, and the reason why you do it is because you want to create something beautiful and you want people to like it and you want the praise and stuff, which I admit is like 90% of why I even do art. But you also have to love it. You got to enjoy creating things and putting it out there and enjoy the whole process, not just the finished piece. And I really didn't start doing art really until like December 2016. I actually got my first tablet, and I had never done digital art before. But I would do traditional art. I would just kind of draw some sketches in my sketchbook, and then I'd leave it alone for like 2 years, and then look through it again, and I'd hate everything that I drew. And more recently, like over like 2015, 2016, I would just do like little stupid little panels and stuff. They weren't really comics. They were just like little scenes, and I was never really happy with it, but I was being productive, so I was just like, this is fine. And when I first got into digital art, I absolutely loved it, and it was like a whole new avenue that was open to me, and I just kind of started drawing way more often than normal. And I didn't really create things that I loved up until I was producing things that I liked personally. Like I would do fan art, and of fandoms that I liked and I enjoyed, which is completely fine if that's what you do. I've done it too, and I love it. But I didn't really start loving what I was creating until I was drawing my own characters and my own story, and not even like in my own story like this comic that I'm doing, but like just things that I enjoyed creating. Like it didn't have to be anything in particular. I don't know. I know I'm rambling, but yeah. But once you start doing the things that you love, it just makes it a whole lot easier and a whole lot more enjoyable, and you realize that you're doing it for yourself and not necessarily what other people think or what you think that they might want, which I know a lot of people do anyway, because I'm not going to stop you from doing that either. But and I obviously do it too. But back when I was in high school and I had a drawing class, I think it was like Drawing 2, which is a very original name, but I had teachers that kind of liked my art and they kind of enjoyed what I did, but I didn't have a whole lot of skill set in traditional media. Like I could use pencils and pens and stuff, but I did not use any other mediums. Like I never got into oil painting or pastels or really even watercolors. I would dabble in those a couple of times, but I never got the hang of it. And I had some teachers that they thought I was okay, and I knew I wasn't great by any means, but I would just try really, really hard to do things that I thought they would like, and things that I thought would get me a good grade or would look well like hanging up in a hallway or something like that, because they might hang up your stuff in a hallway or put it on display at a performing arts center. And I never really liked what I was doing. And eventually, I think in my Drawing 2 class, I was doing more of the kind of art that I liked, which was kind of creepy, and it was kind of, weird, but that's what I related to more when I was in school, and especially now, I'm just kind of like 100% doing whatever I want, and it's really liberating. But I think the only compliment I ever got from my teacher in high school was I was drawing this kind of creature that had like these huge eyes, and it was creepy. It was like had like monster hands and a big I don't even know what it was anymore, but it was a creature and it was supposed to be creepy. That's what I was going for, and I think he was holding like a staff or something in his hand, and she was looking at it and trying to find a good way to tell me that this is weird or this is not what I'm looking for. And the only compliment I ever got from her was, "You'd be good at creature design." And she, like, it's a compliment, I'll admit it, but it was like her saying those words was physically painful to her. I don't know. Like, I was like, I just, like, put my head down. I was like, oh my god, like, after she walked away, of course, I was like, oh god, like, she hates me, she hates everything I do, what's the point? Why am I even doing this? I should just create pretty art like all the other students, because she had favorites, and all of her favorites would, you know, sit by her and talk to her, and, you know, just be in this whole little clique, and I was like, I want to be like that, I want to be like them, I want her to like me. And, you know, in high school, that's obviously what pretty much anybody wants. Like, you know, they want to be liked by your teachers, you want to be liked by the students, and you want to be included, and I was not. And I realize now that it's kind of okay that I wasn't, because if I was included in that, and if I was, you know, like a favorite of hers, I probably wouldn't be doing the stuff that I like now, which is creating monsters and creepy things. Like, that's absolutely what I love doing, and, you know, I'm living for it right now. And, but, you know, it's kind of like, if I had changed an aspect of who I was at the time, and became a different person than who I am now, I probably wouldn't be doing any of this right now. I would be a completely different person. I would be creating completely different things if I was doing art at all. And I'm glad that I didn't. And on the other hand, that I could have let that comment tear me apart, which it did to an extent. But I could have, you know, just stopped doing art altogether. I could have just, you know, gave up everything and never did art outside of school, and then just lived my life. And I'm really glad that I didn't. But yeah, you know, everyone's gonna have those teachers or those instructors or inspirations of theirs that they might, you know, tear you to shreds, or not even acknowledge you or your skills or any kind of thing that you do. And it does hurt. But you also have to be true to yourself and do what you want to do, because it'll make you happier in the end. And I think I'm pretty happy with where I'm at now with my art anyway. So yeah. And of course, my parents, bless their souls, they don't really like my art either, and I'm okay with it. They want me to draw and paint pretty things, and that's just not what I do, unfortunately. Another time, back when I was in middle or high school, my parents were trying to sell the house, and, you know, I was a kid and I'm just drawing stuff, and we had to make the house look super, super nice. And I guess at the time I was drawing like a zombie or something, and I guess I left the drawing out on the counter, and the person that was showing the home to these poor unsuspecting people, they must have seen the zombie drawing on the counter, and it was ugly. I still remember what it looked like. You know, it was like this girl with like blood oozing from her eyes and stuff, like half skeletal. And I got home after we had shown the house. My mom kind of yelled at me. She's like, I can't believe you left this on the counter. Now they're never gonna come see the house again. You know, they're not gonna want to buy the house. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, that kind of made me feel bad about drawing ugly things. But once again, you know, I don't fault my parents for not liking my stuff. A lot of people don't. You know, some people can do the really beautiful portraits or really beautiful flowers and stuff, and, you know, more power to you. If you can do that, I'm really jealous of you. I wish I had those skills, but that's just not my lot in life, unfortunately. But I'm gonna do what I can with what I've got, you know? But anyway, yeah. Sometimes what you do may not make others happy, but if it makes you happy and you're not hurting anybody, then I think that's a pretty good way to go. But that's just my really long, drawn-out version of doing what you want will make you happy, and you should do that. It's a really lame topic, but I hope you guys relate to it, and if you have stories or opinions about what I'm talking about, whether you agree with me or not, you don't have to necessarily agree with me. You can let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll have a little discussion or something, because I like discussing things. Even if I am rambly and annoying, that's okay. But yeah. And I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the drawing since I'm done rambling. But of course, this is from my comic Evergrey. It's my boy Bram that I'm drawing, and it's kind of like a different scene than my normal ones, because like I'll just have like something happening to somebody and like little panels and stuff. But I've been trying to do more full body drawings lately, or like half bodies instead of just like faces and heads. So I think I'm doing okay on that. Like the sketch earlier was like super ugly, and I had to do a lot of proportion changes in the finishing sketch, and then had to line it on top of that, which was kind of getting difficult. And I really did not know what to do with the background, because I wanted the subject to be about Bram and not about, you know, what's going on behind him or around him. And the dialogue that's right there, it says like, I will not fail him, I will not falter. That's Blight thinking to herself out, you know, in her head. And you know, it's just kind of, I wanted that to be the focus. I didn't want it to be about anything else. But yeah, doing the pose is really hard. I should have, you know, posed myself and taken a picture, but I hate doing that because I don't like looking at myself. But I think it's pretty proportional and accurate, so I'm happy with it. And I think the page that I started sketching in the beginning too, like the second page, that one's gonna be a little bit different than what it is now. So yeah, once I'm done with this entire chapter, I think I have like 10 pages or so, then I'll post it, and then everybody will see what it looks like, and hopefully it makes sense and looks good, because I'm just kind of doing what I want and I'm not really thinking it out, which can be a good or bad thing, but it could be better, but I'm happy with it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time, okay? Bye!